you finally stop being the friend who always reaches out first? It was not one big betrayal. It was the slow realization that I could vanish without leaving a dent. I had always been the one who checked in. If a conversation died, I revived it. If plans fell apart, I rebuilt them. If someone was quiet, I assumed they were struggling and showed up harder. I told myself this was just who I was. Thoughtful, loyal, low maintenance. What I did not admit was that I was terrified of what silence might prove. Every friendship I had followed the same rhythm. I would initiate, they would respond, sometimes warmly, sometimes briefly, but always only after I made the first move. Birthdays were the worst. I never forgot anyone's. I remembered favorite cakes, inside jokes, old stories they liked hearing again. Mine passed with a few late messages and one or two apologies that sounded copied and pasted. I accepted it anyway. The breaking point did not come during a fight. It came during a week when my life quietly fell apart. I lost my job on a Tuesday. No drama. Just a meeting that ended with a handshake and a box for my desk. I went home numb, sat on my bed, and stared at the wall until it got dark. I did not tell anyone right away. Not because I wanted privacy, because I wanted to see who would notice. No one did. On Thursday, I got sick. Fever, chills, the kind of sickness that makes you feel small and 8 years old again. I lay on my couch scrolling through my phone, watching people post about their days. I almost texted someone, anyone, then I stopped. I decided to try something I had never tried before. I stayed quiet. No check-ins, no memes, no casual, hope you're doing well. I did not announce it. I did not make it obvious. I just stopped holding the thread together. Days passed, then a full week. My phone stayed silent except for notifications that did not matter. I started to notice how often I reached for it out of habit, like my body expected rejection before my mind caught up. 2 weeks in, I saw photos online. A group trip, laughing faces, a place we had talked about going together someday. The caption said something about last-minute plans. No one had asked me. I stared at the photos longer than I should have. Not angry, not surprised. Just tired. That night, I went back through old messages. Not to torture myself, but because I needed proof I was not imagining it. There it was, page after page. Me asking how they were doing. Me following up when they forgot to reply. Me apologizing for double texting. Me saying it's totally fine when it was not. I counted how many conversations had started without me. Almost none. That was when the truth landed, heavy and undeniable. If I stopped reaching out, I stopped existing. A month passed before anyone noticed. The message was casual, almost cheerful. Hey, you've been MIA lately. Everything okay? I read it 3 times. I thought about all the ways I could answer. The honest way, the angry way, the careful way. I chose the quiet one. I've been the same. I wrote, just waiting to see who would reach out. The typing bubble appeared, disappeared. They never replied. That was the moment something in me finally shut off. Not bitterness, not resentment. Hope. I did not block anyone. I did not make announcements. I simply stopped overextending myself for people who only noticed me when I was useful. The hardest part was the guilt, the feeling that I was being cruel by protecting my own energy, that maybe I was the problem all along. But then something unexpected happened. I felt lighter. The constant anxiety about keeping connections alive disappeared. The pressure to perform friendship faded. The silence stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like peace. Some people drifted away completely. A few surprised me and reached out, genuinely, without needing anything. Those are the friendships I still have. They are fewer now, quieter, more balanced. What finally made me stop being the friend who always reaches out first was not anger or pride. It was the realization that love should not feel like maintenance work. And if a relationship collapses the moment you stop holding it up alone, it was never standing on its own to begin with.